excited to share little bags using the Stampin' Up! Scallop Square die, which is this size actually, so it's about 4.5 by 4.5. Now the trick is that you'll notice that this panel here of my purse is a lot bigger than the die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to extend the Scallop Square die so that you can make little totes that are bigger than sort of the traditional square size. And we're going to use this morning the Sweet Stitches fabric, which is part of the new Occasions mini catalog line. And there are all kinds of fun accessories that go with this line, and I just think this one is the sweetest. So here is the mini catalog with this information. There's designer series paper and then stamps to match, but the fabric is what we're using, and you get 3 fat quarters here, so they're 12 by 18 inches, and I'm going to show you how you can get these cute bags out of this fabric. There's also, of course, coordinating pom-pom trim and little matching, I guess, big matching buttons, and then these are super fun also. They are fabric covered buttons that match. Oh, do you like my Toy Story Band-Aid? I had a fabric cutting accident this morning. Anyway, these are the little matching buttons that go along with the with this product line, this designer line. So, all right, so we are going to start off with a piece of fabric. You're going to go ahead and cut the whole length here at 5 inches. So this is 5 inches across by the 18. And fortunately, the fabric is cut just a little bit generously, so it's really closer to 18.25 inches, which is perfect, because then you're going to cut this into sections. You're going to cut it into 6 3/4, 6 3/4, and you'll get an almost 5-inch piece left over. And that looks like this. When I cut my fabric, I go ahead and I cut it 3 pieces at a time with a wheel roller. You'll want to cut in a way that is accurate for you. So now if you're a seamstress, you're going to be just appalled at some of my sewing techniques, so just ignore that part. All right, so what I have now is 6 pieces of this 6 3/4 by 5-inch fabric, and I have 3 pieces from the stack of our about 4 3/4 inch squares. And what you actually need to do is cut another piece of that fabric, because you're going to need 4 of these for the end of your bag, so just cut an extra piece. Alright, so you're going to take these pieces, and again, if you're a seamstress, don't pay attention to the fact that I haven't ironed my fabric. Yes, I know it would be easier if I did, but that's just one more thing. And if you've watched my videos or follow my blog, you know that I'm kind of a lazy stamper, and I like the easy way to do things, and so that kind of follows that I like the easy way of sewing too. So that doesn't include using an iron very much. Alright, so what I'm doing is folding these in half, and I'm making a stack. And because what we're going to do is we're going to cut these with a Big Shot, and for this project you want to cut all of these at the same time. Now, through the magic of television, I have a stack of all 6 cut here already, or lined up here and folded already. And these I'm going to use with my Big Shot die cut machine. And you want the folds to line up exactly in the same spot, and then this is going to go on your die. Now, I've had a lot of questions recently about fabric and how to work with cutting fabric. And just to be clear, the Stampin' Up! Punches that are available in the catalog, they're gray and they look like this kind of thing. Those will not cut fabric. To cut fabric, you actually need the dies for the Big Shot, and I'll show you the Big Shot here in a second. So like I said, I'm going to take this. Now I'm going to put my fold line right on my die, just like this. Now you'll want to double check, make sure your folds haven't moved, and then also make sure that the end of your die here is covered by the fabric, because you don't want to cut off any cute scallops. And if you need to, you can nudge your fabric back. The nice thing about working with a scallop square die is that you can tell whether you've got your fabric square on there, because you can match scallops. So I'm actually going to move this back just a little bit. And you could make this much bigger, well, up to 1.5 inches bigger, I guess. But the nice thing about this particular size is that it actually fits with the fabric, and you can get nearly a whole bag out of one strip of the fabric. So this is the Big Shot die cut machine, and I realize the top view is not absolutely fabulous. So here it is in side view. And what I'm going to do with this is go ahead and make a sandwich. And when you get your Big Shot, it comes with 2 cutting mats, and they will be clear, pristine. When you cut with them, you're going to get these marks all over them. That's okay. And so don't mind the fact that mine are pretty much not see-through anymore, just because they're well loved. Alright, so now I have my die with our fabric stacked up on it. Okay, and again, checking to make sure, oops, I have one crease that fell back just a little bit. There we go. Making sure our creases are all in the same spot. And I'm going to put this down here, lay my plate on top. So we're making a sandwich. The sandwich is bread on the top and bottom, and then the meat and cheese and so forth in the middle. Or if you don't eat meat, I suppose you could have portobello mushrooms and sprouts, which I also like. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and crank this through. And the Big Shot has no problem cutting those 6 layers of quilting cotton at the same time, so that's no big deal. But I'm going to take this off here, and now I have magically 6 pieces of fabric cut to go here for our bag. Now, if it really, again, you know, seamstress, you could be more organized and have your fabric go the other way so the little girls are up instead of sideways on your bag. But alas, I've already cut my fabric this way, so this is the way it's going to be. Alright, so the next step is to go ahead and cut one more time. I need those 4 pieces here, our 4 squares, and I'm going to put these here on our die, and these are much easier to line up. They're not so finicky. And I'm going to solve my little girl sideways problem by putting her on my ends of my bag, and then I'll make the other ones be in the middle. And then no one will know that I really could have, except everyone who watches this video, could have cut those the wrong direction. Okay, so now I have 4 squares here. So I have my 6 pieces, my 4 squares, and we are going to move to the sewing machine.